Hello, everyone, and welcome to College of Lore. My name is Kate.
And I'm Jill, and today we're going to be discussing Session 8 of Estersea. Our file has been misplaced, so we are going to give you a recap. We've got the whole gang here, and we're going to just talk over what happened and kind of fill in any of the blanks and point out our favorite parts, and then we will give it to you, and you can watch it, and you'll know what happened.
And it won't be as good as watching the original, but at least it's better than nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Follow
So
us on Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want
Exactly. If you had been following us on Twitch, you would have seen it live.
All right. So at the beginning of the episode, or the session last time, you got to the gate of the city of Sploop to try and save your party members, or the previous party that had been taken by the Kuatoa. Mm-hmm. You ran into two guards, and one had left, and you managed to kind of charm the remaining guard. Namalesa and Meldrin, I think you both were kind of putting the charm on, and she bought into it. And I think Meldrin, you kind of found a fan in this Kuatoa. We're gonna call her Plip for like simplicity's sake. Her full name I think is Plip Loop Loop, but we'll call her Plip.
Yeah, we're tight enough down that we can go on.
Her name was Bleep Gee. We called her Gee for short.
Okay, Gee.
That's
right. It's this name. All right. I had the name written down, but I highlighted the incorrect name.
Oh. Okay.
So we got Gee.
All right.
Perfect.
I think that if I remember correctly, we had prepared for this by like memorizing some key phrases. But I don't know if we ended up.
You did. You did use some of them,
but we did have to improv some of it because like the god that we thought we were going to be telling them that sent us was not the actual god that we ended up wanting to be associated with. Anyway,
yeah,
I feel like a theme of this session was a lot of like carefully laid plans falling apart immediately because originally this was going to be a stealth mission, and we all got like rubbed with fish smell for nothing.
Oh yeah, so true.
Yeah, there was definitely some fish smell and kind of trying to blend in, learning some Kuatoa phrases. Yeah, and the two of the three rangers were in disguises. Rebel, your NPC friend, and you, Ruben, had kind of gotten ready, and you were going to split up, and it was this whole thing. But it turned into you being snuck in through the back. Guy helped sneak you in through the back. And you came upon
this is because we specifically heard the ceremony starting.
Yeah. We were originally going to rescue them before the ceremony started, but I don't remember what happened. Some sort of unrelated, unavoidable incident that made us late.
It was just that you were planning for a very long time, and I was like, okay, we're cutting, like, the episode's going to end soon. You hear the ceremony's beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all went in through the back, and you came across this opening, the courtyard, basically, of the Kuatoa town, and you saw a huge statue that had the body of a humanoid figure, and the head was kind of made from pieces of wood to make this kind of grotesque fish-like face, and it had one glowing eye on this statue. And you kind of worked together and recognized that the statue might have been related to the head of the statue you had seen up in the cave above in a previous episode that looked kind of like the current ruler of Estersea, and maybe could have been an ancestor or something. The two dwarves that were taken previously. So Lomos and Glinta under rock. Lomos being the husband of Mildred's sister. So kind of like your brother-in-law and then your brother-in-law's sister. They were chained up in front of the statue, about to be sacrificed to bring the statue to life into the goddess spills. Oh goodness! Why did I do this to myself? The goddess Bimblop-Bo-Peep.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, they're Kuatoa names.
Yeah, they're
They have
tricky.
to sound like that.
They have to sound like that. Kuatoa names all have those like multi-syllable eep and oops.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all came in and you saw that this was not going great. The two dwarves were chained up. And combat broke out. So there was a pile of Kuatoa that were cheering for the archpriest who was about to sacrifice the dwarves. But through some quick thinking, Namalesa and I think it was Namalesa mainly kind of called out to them to try and sway the Kuatoa over to your side, using the phrase that you memorized to let them know that you were here to help fight the mind flayers or brain slicers, as the translation may have come through.
Right.
And you did sway some. And Rebel, without any weapons or anything, she spent her turns trying to follow your lead in swaying more Kuatoa over to your side. So you didn't have to fight through a bunch of Kuatoa to get to the archpriest.
Right, because there was a huge crowd.
Huge crowd. In an attempt of crowd control, we saw Namalesa kind of use the sleep spell to try and knock out the archpriest because he had been wounded by some excellent shots from our archers. And like Mildred had climbed up on top of a building, and he was kind of in a good area for some ranged as well. However, unfortunately, the sleep spell made the two dwarves unconscious, and one of the Kuatoa watching the imminent sacrifice. Oh shoot! Actually, before then, who was it that shot the archpriest's ceremonial dagger out of his hand?
I don't remember which one of us.
Yeah,
did that.
one of you had a very excellent shot. It was a called shot, so it was more difficult, but they managed to. Was it Lob?
Yeah,
so there was.
It was me, because I do remember I had a few called shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you managed to disarm the archpriest. So in his fury at being disarmed, and the two dwarves happened to be asleep. I can't remember which happened first, but he called a huge wave to drown the two chained dwarves, and they were underwater. And I think Lomos managed to get himself free and swam to the top, but Glinta was still chained there. And then I think the sleep spell took hold, and Lomos kind of sunk back into the water. You managed to. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I said Namalesa has regrets about that sleep spell.
There are some regrets.
Yes.
And then you managed to damage the archpriest enough. I think Reuben might have shot him and dislodged his concentration. And then he dropped the wave spell, which kind of dragged the sleeping Lomos out into the water a bit, but Glinta was still chained there to the altar. She was still asleep. Lomos woke up, but the archpriest took this opportunity to bring out his staff. And although he didn't have a ceremonial dagger anymore, he did use his staff to kill Glinta outright. In his fury, Meldrin leapt off of the building he was standing on and did a very good acrobatics roll and managed to tackle the archpriest into the water. Lomos, none the wiser, is in the water, and he swims to safety while Meldrin and the archpriest are like battling in the water. By this point, many of the Kuatoa have been swayed by Namalesa and Rebel's words and are now believing that this party is here to save them from the Mind Flayer dangers. What happened next? So, Meldrin and the archpriest are battling in the water, and the goddess awakens.
Oh, right.
The red eye glows bright, and she wakes up, and she seems confused and is making some kind of pitiful sounds. And I think there were at least one attack on her before Reuben shrouded her in a spell of fog, so she could no longer see anything. And she was still making kind of confused sounds as she was just awoken.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think Reuben created the fog, and then I shot her like in the eye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
So yeah,
Or,
she
like,
was damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was damaged and also confused at just what's going on. And the archpriest was calling out for help, but she couldn't see anything at that point, so she didn't know really what was going on. I don't know where Camille went, but I'm trying to remember who got the final blow on the archpriest. Was it you, Lob? Do you remember what?
Called shot, yeah.
Oh, as a called shot. So that was
he
when
was trying to run away, right?
He was trying to swim away, and I was just like, no, he does too much damage, and so I was able to shoot him from where I was at.
Because you had Hunter's Mark on him as well, I believe.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I did have Hunter's Mark on him because he wasn't dead, and I had it on him already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once the archpriest was dead, Lomos climbed out of the water and helped Meldrin out of the water and encouraged him to, like, let's get out of here. We'll get Glinta. Like, let's go. And they were running across the courtyard, and Lomos is like, but wait, where's Glinta? And it was at that moment where Meldrin's like, I think there was like a little bit of a fib there to try and get Lomos to keep going.
Yeah.
And Meldrin ran back.
Fine, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah,
We went
she's
to get
fine,
her
let's
body.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you return to get the body, Meldrin. So we called combat there, but Nomalisa, I think, is
decided
still
to run away, right?
Yeah, because Rebel had no weapon and wasn't ready to fight a goddess. And there was a lot of encouragement to escape. Nomalisa, I think you're still on the fence whether you want to finish off the goddess or incite combat with the goddess or not.
At this particular moment, I was, but then I do think everybody was kind of running away, so I ran away. But then I think what we did do is we sort of got to safety, and then we had our ally, Guy, was it?
Yeah.
We had her like sneak back to the courtyard to just check and make sure that this awakened goddess wasn't like attacking people, and it didn't seem to be that she was. So it seemed to be that she's here and that she's going to help them. And we didn't necessarily agree with her methodology or the way that she had to be summoned, but she also wasn't an immediate threat to these people. So I think we decided that it would probably be best to not try and kill a goddess.
Yeah.
It was a bad look to enter a society and then kill their deity.
Yeah.
New or not, like.
And they love you.
Sad.
Yeah, like they love you as well. So like they're like, sweet, we have tons of protectors now. We've got our new goddess. We've got like these incredible people who are here to save us. And like we agreed that the method that Archpriest took wasn't great, but like you are fantastic, So you have this kind of following within the Kuatoa people. So I think we also had I think a heartfelt moment between Meldrin and Lomos, where Lomos is very excited that Meldrin is back into kind of this adventuring and maybe even mining and gathering metals, and he welcomes you gladly back into the family, and he's so proud of you. And I think there were you said something like, but I failed. And he said, you didn't fail me. And there was like a hug.
Yeah.
I think you kind of summarized it. The problem is Meldrin isn't going to be very emotive when it's something actually heart-bearing. He's way more likely to fib and overreact for things that don't put him on display, like his real feelings on display. So because this was so heartfelt, he was, pretty muted about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think he wasn't completely convinced that this wasn't all his fault. But him and Lumos came to some kind of agreement, and that was, we're both here together. We both are mourning the loss of Glinda, and whatever comes next, at least for family, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it
We'll
was
see.
really, like, it was so, so then to end off the episode, I think we kind of ended there, and I think we ended up with a little bit of planning of what you wanted to do next. I think there was some talk of hurrying back up the cave because you realized you left Ogun, one of the other remaining party members, with a mind flayer. You've kind of put two and two together at this point that Esrix is a mind flayer, and you found Velas's body, and you're kind of like, oh wait,
Pretty obvious that
bad news,
Esrix did it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think that was your plan ending off, was just like, we got to get back up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where we're gonna pick it back up here in a few minutes on stream. But did anybody else want to say anything for the session 8 video?
We did end up giving Guy a lot of gifts.
Oh yeah,
Just like little
Yes.
snacks and stuff we had in our pocket.
Yeah, we all
I know
just
I
went
gave
through our
her,
mundane items.
Yeah, I
random
think I
things.
gave her like one of my hammers that I had on me. Like,
Yeah.
And a nice piece of paper
Yeah.
from
in like a comic
Yeah.
book sleeve so that it doesn't get too
Yeah.
wet from her sticky hands holding it.
Yeah. And was
Maybe
there
I gave her
a candle?
Yeah, I think I gave her a candle.
Yeah.
The
And signed
carved wine goblet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she wore it as a hat.
Yep.
I think she didn't really know what to do with it, so she's like, "Oh wow, this is fantastic."
And we're all like, yes, that's what it's for.
I love her.
Very-
I hope we see her again and she's in good spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
that
kind
was
of Little Mermaid. She just wants like souvenirs of
That's
the
right.
surface world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Her dingle hoppers.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if you had time to stay, she would have invited you to stay with her, and like she was going to show you her whole like collection of items she's procured throughout the years.
Be
But
like an old shoe.
Yeah.
Like, how much of it did she steal from that boat?
yeah, it's all just stuff from the boat above.
Yeah.
She single-handedly just
She's
cleared
like,
that
look at
boat
my
out.
collection.
But
And
she's
also
invented
it's,
a backstory for each one. Just,
Yeah. All right.
very Reuben style.
That makes up for it, I
Right.
guess. At which point is
She
it?
got to the boat after they were kidnapped. She had nothing to do with the kidnapping at all. She just stumbled
No.
across
She's
the
like,
boat.
well, so
like-
long as they are all gone and
Yeah.
kidnapped,
Not
I'm
gonna
might as well
Leave
take
this stuff
everything.
here. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
His stuff needs a
They
home.
probably
Someone needs to
do
take
that.
care of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I approve of her stealing.
It's all canon. I'm like totally on board with all of this.
Oh my!
This is
like,
an unqualified pro
They
stealing
did it
stream.
fast.
Yeah. The only
Welcome to
question is,
College of Lore.
did she or did anyone steal anything that belonged to our family members and like should
Well-
we be recovering anything else?
Well, Rebel doesn't have any of her weapons and gear.
Is she
You know, the-
sentimental?
So this sounds like session 9 material.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're getting into the future.
Okay,
I'm
let's call it here,
yeah.
and we will pick up with streaming.
Yeah. So
Thanks for
yeah, thank
Thank
you
you
for
for this.
watching. Hopefully it was enjoyable, and at least now you know what happened.
yeah.
See you all in a
Join
week.
us on Twitter.
Right.
A week, yeah. Come watch us get our minds flayed.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
have
The
to wear the
exciting
same.
conclusion of Estersea.
I might have to wear the same shirt next week, though.
Me too.
And maybe,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
we
same
all
here.
should.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be a good
Coordinate.
idea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have the exact same
Mhm.
lighting and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
It's gonna be
All right.
wild.
Okay. Bye for a long time, everyone.
Bye. Bye.